What's going on, everybody? Conquering the markets. Everyone, glad to be here with you on this Friday, right? Looking forward to this Friday. I love our Friday sessions. There's something different. We get to really just, I don't know, just add a whole new element to our whole vibe over here. I really enjoy them. There's a lot to discuss in the markets. We're going to get into that right away, and we're going to see how this unfolds. We're going to be looking at, obviously, Bitcoin today. We're going to focus in on Plan B. Posted a chart this morning. It's a chart that I love. It's so funny. Yesterday, I was like, oh, I need to put this as a screensaver. And I was looking through charts. I couldn't find the one I wanted. This morning, he posted it. This is the one I wanted. Look, this is beautiful. We're seeing over here as we're about to turn from red to orange, over the next, 60 days. We are having that little bit of a pullback over here. And from here, like, look at the space that occurs over here. Look at the space that occurs. Are we going to see price start to jump soon? It looks like it. It really does. This is the chart right now to focus on, I think. This removes a lot of noise. This is the bigger picture. This is where you want to get your clarity from. If you're getting caught up over here in the price fluctuation, and that's all it is price fluctuations, then just focus in on this chart over here. It's just Plan B's most recent tweet. You could find it yourself. If I had the link, I would post this, but I put this onto the browser itself, so I can't post that link for you. We have the thumbs down flying this morning. It's a beautiful sight to see. The whole free world over here is shook. I love it. Before I get into the indexes, which I really want to get into, right? If everyone saw the update last night, they saw the trade that we were setting up over here. Look at that. The free world is shook, right? That's all good. That's up to you. This weekend, Sunday, we have a big deadline over here. We see the dollar bid this morning, right? We're going to look at that as the pound is getting, I don't want to say getting wrecked, but it's off substantially about 1% against everything, right? So this Sunday is the deadline. Are we going to have a last minute deal and see the pound flying up on Monday? And if that's the case, the DXY down? Or are we going to see the pound crushed on Monday at the opening? Watch for gaps. Gaps do not fill your stop loss orders over the weekend on FX. Be very, very, very careful if you're in a pound trade. Should you be in a pound trade? If you're in a pound trade, you are straight gambling. You are straight gambling. You're not trading with an edge. You do not have any inside information that no one else. You're just placing a bet, and you could do that. You could be watching a football game and you could place a bet. Just know that you are betting. Watch out for the gaps. They could be substantial to the upside or downside, and you could get really, really, really hurt. Again, today I laugh at you. But anyway, so what else? Let's keep going. Thanks. Oh, I just saw one comment over there. Enrico, how you feeling, brother? I hope you're feeling much better over there, right? Anyway, let me keep going over here. You know what? I'm gonna be like, well, here's what's going on. I just woke up. You ever have a day when you wake up and you just like, you don't feel like yourself? That's how I feel this morning, right? To be honest, if I didn't have a commitment to y'all, and I do, y'all are very important to me, I probably would. It's Friday morning. Everything is set for me. I would just be kind of hanging out. But this is important to me, and I'm going to work through it. I think the single most important time to be out there is when it's the hardest, right? Whether you're training for anything, whether you need to hit the gym, it's the days that you don't want to do it that are the most important. Whether you're training for a marathon, you don't feel like getting out there, putting in your time, that's what counts the most. That's what we are today. That's what I'm going through. So I'm going to make this a good session no matter what happens, and that's what I'm feeling. Let me look at the price action on Bitcoin before I get going anywhere else. Let me just take off all the noise off the chart. Let's focus in on over here. Two things. First of all, so far from the line I have over here right now, obviously we breached it this morning, but we didn't close below it and are coming back up. Now, look, here's what you see the price spike down over here. You see it spike down over here. You see it spike down over here. Now, obviously, I was, and I always do, and I think I'm going to actually change this. I'm always using broad strokes, right? And I do that for a reason, but I think that it would be a little bit better just to tighten them up a little bit, right? So anyway, look what happens if I move this down over here. This is where it should have been. We have right now at least one clean touch, another clean touch. That looks a little bit better, right? How do you know, right? Do you use the end of the spikes or do you use the close? Now, generally speaking, both. I use the closes often. I'm looking for where the closes are. But if I see the market paying attention to the spikes, I then move it. So here's where it was, by the way, just so no one's confused, right? Here's exactly where it was. If you're trading off a line like this, as I am, right? What happens? Is that a breach? Well, we all know, as I woke up this morning, what we were looking for is actually, it looked like a retest. That's why we don't play breakdowns, breakouts ever. It's always the safe, high probability entry. And either way, we're coming back up now and we're back within the pattern. That's all it is. But I think this is what you should focus on, is this. Those that are trying to get cute, right now. And this will be like, by the way, a breakout above that trend line, a breakout above that little line of resistance. This is when we could see fireworks happen to the upside. We saw, everyone knows right now, Mass Mutual, $100 million of Bitcoin purchase. That's an insurance company. They've been around for a long time. That's a big deal. It's just becoming more and more mainstream, exactly what we're looking for over here. The DXY, let's talk about the DXY. Here's a chart posted on Twitter this morning, and we have the whole dollar bull crowd roaring. This is the bottom. From here, we're going straight up to 120. Santiago going ahead, liking this. Raul Powell liking this tweet. They all believe it. This is bad TA. This is terrible TA over here. It's just bad TA. Plain and simple. Now, is it possible we bounce over here? Yeah, of course it is. Let's look at the DXY. Why do I say of course it is? Because what happens if we have a hard Brexit on Sunday? What happens if the pound gets obliterated? What happens if the DXY trades up? That's not signal, that's noise. That's not signal, that's noise. All right, so anyway, what are we watching? What levels are we watching? Right now, we're watching for a retest. This was a bear flag, downtrend, slightly up, sloping up, consolidation. That's a bear flag. It's broken down. It's coming in for the retest right now. Now, it does appear, because of the momentum, right now the Brexit odds, I think, they've either gone up to 63% or I want to say it's anywhere between 63 and 69%. I'm not exactly sure, right? Mid-60s, let's call it, right? Well, that's significant, but that's still kind of like nobody really knows. And that's the case, right? I'm sure both the EU and the UK want some type of arrangement. Are they going to get it? I don't know. Political theater, yes. Watch right here what happens. This could go either way. If you resume down, taking out that low, it's going to be a gap, right? I doubt it's going to happen this session over here, right? It's going to be a gap. So there's no really way to trade it. This is what we're watching on the upside over here. Let's go to Brad's bigger picture. This is what all of these dollar bulls over here, where are they? I deleted them. Yeah, they are. This is what the whole dollar bull crowd should be watching over here, is Brad's chart, because Brad's got it right? And if they break out above here, then they could be like, all right, we got a counter trend rally brewing. But no, they instead, like, you know what? I'm gonna zoom out 20 years, and I'm gonna be like, no, we're making higher highs. Anyway, I digress. But here's what's happening over here. This is the line we're first looking at over here right now. This is this line right over here. We're still way under it. If we get above that, this is the big one over here. It's coming at 92.50. As long as we're below 92.50, we are bearish on the dollar. And below this little trend line over here, we're extremely bearish the dollar. All right. So what I'm setting up over here for all of you is be aware, watch out. We're going to have gaps, I believe, over this weekend. It's a big weekend. A lot of information is going to be priced in. Just be careful. Be careful out there. All right. What else we got going over here? Let me highlight this over here. This should be in this morning's video over here. I'm going to pull up 1 second. So Michael saying to Heath, big shout out to Heath. Thank you for all the excellent videos. A treasure chest of info, and very complimentary to the nuggets we get here at CTM. Dynamic duo plus Brandon. What a lucky group we are. Brandon put out a video yesterday as well on Bitcoin wallets. I watched it last night. I think you should all watch it. He's going to re-record it. I don't know if it's still up with a better mic, but it's an excellent video. Heath keeps putting out that great content. I should put... and I'm sorry it's not there right now. As I said, I was off this morning. But I'm gonna anyway, I have to link both those channels. It's Trade Talk. right? Will you guys give me a second? Let me get them up. It's kind of important over here. Let me pull that up over here. It's in last Friday's video. All right, let me make you easier. This is the link to Trade Talk over there. And then we got Crypto Tech. Brandon, let me see. I don't know my subscriptions. I don't know what to take to your time. This is important though, right? Nah, Peter. No. Thank you. No, this is just being a normal human being. I'm all good. We don't always, right? Thank you. But no sympathy my way, right? Here we go. Crypto trades and tech. Here's the channel for Brandon. Both of them. Make sure you subscribe to both channels, and because they're putting out good content. Core CTM members. And that's it. This group is big and strong. Here we go. What else we got going on over here? Let's check out the indexes. Here's what I want to focus in on. We'll start with the S&P 500. Alan, by the way, add into that whole flavor over there. Did you see anyone see Alan's tweet this morning on GBTC and on Bitwise's new top 10 index? Excellent stuff being put out over there. I would love if we had some type of conquering the markets a spreadsheet with everyone's Twitter handle on it, so we could just all follow each other and continue the conversation. But Alan, awesome tweet as well. S&P 500, let's take a look. Thomas, you want to jump right into the pound before we get into the indexes? Let's do it. What's Alan's Twitter? Last little bit of hiccup before I find the flow again. Again, that's important to share. Let me get it out there for everyone. Thank you, Zan. Thanks for being a part of that. Here we go. Let me just pull it up over here. Thanks for the patience this morning. It's Friday. We don't have any pressure. And it's just one of those days anyway. Here we go. We got Alan. Let me get his tweeter in here. Here's the tweet, by the way. It should be really. There's got a lot of tweets going on. Anyway, here's the Twitter feed. Here it is. Here's the tweet. Bitwise successful listed its top 10 crypto index fund. BitW on the OTC QX best market yesterday. Like GBTC, it's a trust product and can be publicly traded like a security. Available to tax advantage accounts like 401ks. It is a good buy. Look again, and then he gets into it. Great stuff over there. We are just growing strong. 2021. Thomas, pound US dollar. What am I looking at? You were looking at the 50-day moving average or something like that. I just follow support and resistance. Couple of things. I do want. Do you see how beautiful this is? Like I'm just looking at this. Obviously, you all know I'm not now, especially not looking to trade pound pairs, right? Will that change after next week? It could very well. We're going to be really getting involved. I think that if we get a hard exit and the pound gets devalued, at that point, I will be looking. Jordan, you don't catch bottoms. This is different. This is a macro event. All right. Anyway, let's look at how beautiful this is. Everyone saw the what? This is beautiful. This is an ascending wedge right into this multi-year trend line and horizontal support. I don't remember if we lined that up or not. Then we had the breakdown. And then what happens after a breakdown? Most people FOMO right over here. And they get short. But not us. Retest right into the line. Resumption down. That's the entry. Look at that. Right into support. Look at that's just beautifulness. That's textbook CTM right there. That is gorgeous TA right there. That is not. And what else could I say over here? Right, Alan, everyone, right now, you're into this area of support over here. It's just a bet. I think everyone should stay away. It's Friday. We have a huge polar event that's coming out over the weekend. It could go either way. Be careful. Be careful. Spamming the king. Za. If you're trading QBTC, if you're trading GBTC, just follow Bitcoin. Look, here you go. Here, let me give you the best analysis you can find on QBTC, and it's right here, and you are right here. What are you doing? You buying or selling? Are you buying or selling over here? Come on. Just don't play games. Right? There you go. There we go. Thanks, AJ. Thanks, brother. Do appreciate that very much. Very much. What else are we looking at? Let me keep going over here. I want to get into the indexes this morning. I do want to take a look at what we got going on over there because let them fly. I could care less. Sincerely and really. Let them fly. Right? So do I think we got to sell down in Bitcoin after the market slumps? Look, we're having a bit of a sell-off in Bitcoin. We're down at 18 off the all-time high, right? So, it's a question of whether or not you want to be cute or not. 13,800 is still a possibility. It's still a possibility. To be honest, I think everyone is going to be better off just kind of having their position in Bitcoin and then holding it. No, think about it. This is really important. Obviously, this is for myself too, not just all of you. Let me go ahead and give us this chart as I just explained this. Let them fly, brother. Here's what I'm looking at over here. And look, right now, if you want to try to get cute, that's all good and fine, but you might actually wind up decreasing your position by doing that. And that's not a good thing, right? You should have, I did 3 ways to trade Bitcoin in the bull market right now. Right now, you should be positioned and riding this wave. Now, as we get into this area over here and whatever current position you have right now starts increasing substantially, and then when you get that real pullback, if you want to add to your position, that's safe. That's safe. Don't let greed get in the way of you making this, I don't want to say life-changing bull market over here, but this bull market should substantially increase your account and then set up for the next bear market and bull market. All right, so there you go. Let's go back over here. Beautiful, Gino. Nice playing. Good work over there, brother. I want to talk about the indexes over here. We're seeing the S&P. We're seeing all the indexes trading off this morning as we open up in 8 minutes. Are we going to see a prolonged sell-off, or are they going to bottom out here? I don't know. It's the same analysis for all of us. Equities remain risky. Now, the S&P has not yet taken out anything that would give us any type of a warning sound. Let me just extend that line over there for you, right over there, right? You see that line from that last bit of consolidation? Breaking down below that, that would signal we've had a technical event over here on the S&P 500. This is where we were like, everything is risky. If we break down below there, we're getting some type of confirmation. 35.46 is in the cards. And do remember, this will be the big test for me if we come down and test that trend line over there. Below that, we've left the whole bullish structure completely. This is the first warning sign below there. Below here will be, no, things are not looking good. We're having a real correction on the indexes. The Nasdaq, however, let's look at the Nasdaq because we set this trade up last night on the afternoon video. We set this up beautifully. That's good TA. That's not. And we set this up over here, right? And we had the breakdown over here. And then we were here yesterday when I did the video and I said, we're setting up a retest right now. That's breakdown, retest, look for the resumption. Anyone who got themselves into an entry got themselves into a really good risk entry. You don't know whether or not the trade's going to fall in your favor, but you know where your risk is capped and you got yourself into a great trade. The Russell 2 yesterday, I said, look, and I showed you on the afternoon update, and I said, look, that looks exactly like a retest. Even though I said yesterday, Russell's up over 1%, everyone's FOMOing, that looks like a retest. Watch out. All right. So again, though, structurally, nothing bad going on here yet on the Russell. Extend that line like that. Trade, we're close to it this session over here. Things could start getting a little bit uglier. And then what else do we have over here? What do the markets have reason right now to be worried with this weekend's event? Of course they do, right? Makes sense over here. Nothing's out of the ordinary. Over here, you could see the Dow just did break down structurally. You could see that over here. It's now breaking down structurally. Now, that doesn't mean you jump in a short. You never do that, right? Because we don't play the breakdowns. We are patient and we wait for what? The retest and then the resumption. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. The market is always going to be there, and there's always opportunity. What else? That's the indexes, right? Anyone wants a look at the indexes? Go for it. I mean, this is it, right? We're going to take a look at gold, right? We're going to take a look. We'll take a look, jump at Tesla first, then we'll go to gold. No problem. Wow. Tesla humming. Wow. Wow. Well, I don't know what else to say. Wow. What else could you say? Is it, I don't know what to say here. Anyway, I don't know what to say here about Tesla. Tesla is kind of dependent on here. I don't know what to say. I don't have any analysis for Tesla. I don't have anything to say. Wow. That's all I could say. That might be the case. I don't know. I mean, you can't bet against Tesla, right? And the whole thing is that what Jordan is paying attention to, even though right now I'm like equity markets, no risky, that's not going to be the case a short time from now, right? Why? What's the signal? $315 billion of QE a month coming in 2021. Where does that money go? Inflates assets, right? So there you go. And that's the dig. Yeah, that's true. That was absolutely crazy skates. Nothing else to say that. Yeah, Michael Berry bet on Tesla. Michael Berry made some great trades this year when he was trading options on the tech stocks. He'd absolutely destroyed it, right? How important is pre-market? I mean, Daniel, I think if you're focused in on the stock market, I think you're focused in on the wrong market, personally, right? I don't think that is the most efficient market, the best market, or anything like that. It's really difficult to trade. If you're gonna trade them, I like the indexes. The indexes are trend following money machines. Does pre-market matter? Yeah, stocks should trade 24 hours a day. If stocks traded 24 hours a day, I think that I would like them a lot more, right? Why do they close at night? I don't know, but they do. It's terrible. Wow. What's happening this weekend? We got the deadline for the Brexit stormtrooper. We have on Sunday deadline here whether or not we're going to have a hard Brexit. If we have a hard Brexit, is that going to weigh on the equity markets? For sure. Could that weigh on Bitcoin? I don't see why not. It could, right? Or you could see Bitcoin and gold bid. I don't know what's going to happen. I do not have a crystal ball. Speaking of gold over here, gold continues to look pretty bad after breaking down over here, right? Gold was looking good. Right over here earlier this week, just let me focus in on it. We were setting up a possible long entry right here. That looks beautiful on gold. These two red dots were support. We said if either one of them hold and we resume off there, that's good. If we break below the last one and this trend line, that's bad. We broke below, came in for the retest, right? And are now resuming down. Is gold also at the same time consolidating? Yes. It is also consolidating. You all know that we don't short gold. What does gold have to do to repair itself? You know what? At this point, it's just not even remotely interesting. At this point, it's not even remotely interesting. Let's wait for it to get interesting, and then we'll be looking to attack it again. Now, if gold does drop down towards here, that would be interesting for us. Or if gold does trade up above here, that would be interesting for us. But in this whole area over here, gold is not interesting at all. So I'm not focused at all right now on gold at all. By the way, I don't know if Kips is here or not. He was not yesterday. I saw that nickel was really humming yesterday. Look at that. Oh, it came into the next line of resistance, and now it's consolidating right under that resistance. I wonder if you get an entry that has no name over here, and then boom. But anyway, that was the area to take some off the table, right? Those that are trading. Let me go ahead and clean that up a little bit. What about silver? Let's take a look at silver. Let's check out silver. And silver remains consolidating very nicely still, right? Remember that silver is looking a little bit better than gold, and it continues to consolidate over here. So silver would be interesting, by the way, if it's just able to take out the 24.32 resistance. If it's able to get up there, that becomes interesting. Does it become interesting down at 23.30? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. We'll see what happens. But right now, gold and silver are both not interesting at all. There we go. Kips was celebrating the 4% jump in nickel in honor of our good friend. Let's take a look over there. Kips, brother, if you can, please do send me an email on conquertrades.com. All right? Please do. All right. So anyway, let's get the view over here. This is the 3-day view, the long-term view. Let's give it the full screen over here. Let them fly. I could care less. And you could see over there, wow, Kips. By the way, Kips has been in this trade for a long time. I don't know, Kips, exactly when you got into that trade, but I do know that when finally, after your repeated attempts to get my attention, that we all started following it together, right? It's up about 25% since then in a short time. That's pretty interesting right over here, right? Look at that chart. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is gorgeous. You're into this bit of resistance right over here. That's why it was time to take a little bit of profit yesterday. And not only that, we did say if you then are able to go ahead and reclaim that level, that line, that's interesting over here. Hold on one second. Let me fix our bearings over here. Let me just clone that. Do you see over here that bit of support and then that resistance? That looks like something we got to pay attention to. So we got a big area over here. I would not be looking now on an entry that had no name to take that right into that resistance. You got to clear above here. I'm just going to make this mark over here. That way we remember. Clearing back above there, you could start adding to that position again from a swing trader's perspective, right? So, Kips, lots of love over there. Since June, wow. Great trading. Great trading. I want to track where June is. Wow. That's a big deal. Great work over there, Kips. Yes, I know you did. My bad. I know you did. It's true. All right. So what else we got going over here? Copper. Let's check out copper really quick over here, as copper was putting in a very nice day over today. We got a big wick down, but look at that. That's not troublesome at all. That's just a wick back down into support. Let me go ahead and go like that for you. That's looking good and healthy if you continue to resume off there. And if not, great. Then we could wait this out and look for a better opportunity. All industrial metals right here, because everything is so deflationary. We're seeing all industrial metals going straight up to the right, right? Yeah, it makes sense. Beautiful trade, Kips. That's right. That's right. Jeffrey's, the nickel chart is like the bat signal for Kips. If we want to reach out to Kips, we just got to pull up the nickel chart and he'll just like automatically sense it and show up. That's awesome. What does the often say the trade with no name? Because if there's no name to describe it, there's no name to describe it. But basically just really quick to answer your question. It's when you have, say, resistance, price comes into it, backs off on one bar with the height of that bar at that resistance level, and then the next bar makes that higher high right at the resistance level. It's similar to conquering the markets all day long, except the retest or the test. There's test, pull back, and then break through. I don't know. I don't have any terminology. It has no name, so I don't have any terminology for it. What's happening with platinum? Let's check it out. Yeah, I would say that's interesting. Let's take a look at it really quick. Let me clean that up for you, and then let's take a look at it. Let's look at it on the 12-hour chart over here. Let's just give a bigger time frame over here, and then let me zoom out and then get clear with you, right? This was the beauty over here during this channel over here, and then we broke out, right? So now look what's happening. Extend this over here. This was the resistance of the channel, and that's now providing support. As long as we're above this horizontal support over there at 99.5, right? And above this now line of support. This is uber bullish over here. Watch out for an entry. If we break down below, okay, no big deal. That's good, right? Just bet because it gives you a better opportunity here. We'll extend that over there. We'll look for support there. If that holds, is that an opportunity? We'll see what's going on. I don't know. Right now, this is the only thing to worry about. If this holds over here, that could be possibly giving a very bullish entry. And then we'll wait and see what develops next. And then we could also look at palladium does not look as nice as the others. One of these does not look as nice as the others. And this is palladium over here. Now, that could change very quickly. All it needs to do is regain this little 2350 area over here, this horizontal resistance, get back above it and back up above that little bit of a trend line. And it's looking very good indeed. But right now, this looks like it is lagging a little bit and could have a negative event. What else are we looking at? XRP. We could talk about altcoins right now. Let's start with Chainlink. Let me move into Chainlink. And by the way, are you guys following Jack Ma, Lightning Network developer, and all the amazing things he's doing? He is changing remittance by himself up in Chicago. They just did a transaction yesterday, sending $1 over to Europe and converting it into euros in a split second. I mean, does Ripple really have a use case? You have to ask yourself that. Remember when everyone used to get so mad when you called? Remember, why don't I like XRP? Because I think it's a scam. I think that the company Ripple is very clear that the way that they fund their company is through selling these XRP tokens to retail. I don't think that it has a use case. The use case is supposed to be international cross-border remittance, right? What are central banks doing right now with their digital tokens? I don't like XRP because I think it's a scam. But does that say you can't make a lot of money off of XRP? No, you could make, right? We stood by that. XRP rips. There's the last rip. I've said it over and over and over again. XRP rips. But I also said every time it rips, that's not natural price action that you see over here. These rips that occur on XRP, that's not natural. We don't see that in any other market. We see it in XRP. Why? Well, Ripple controls the float over here. They could do whatever they want. So when they want to rip price, they could rip price and then sell to retail. So is it going higher? Maybe. Is that where I would want to invest? No. Right? But by the way, as far as looking at what's going on XRP, and I did say we need to look at the altcoins, but this is setting up after the rip for a bullish event. It's consolidating right now. Not only is it consolidating, it's consolidating pretty much sideways where it normally consolidates like this after a rip. I would say it's pretty darn bullish. You're coming down towards this area. Go ahead and boom, put a trend line over there. Wait for that breakout over there. You can also see that over here. This is important, this bottom trend line. Why is that important? Because I'm going to, like I said, I wanted to show you before I got into XRP what's going on with altcoins. You could see over here on, that's Ethereum, Bitcoin. By the way, that looks beautiful right there. Look at that. I wanted to look at Ethereum with you, but let me look at, there's a nice video of Raoul Pal interviewing XRP. I don't agree with that at all. In my own personal opinion, but by the way, the comment though, and listen, for those that are interested, do pay attention. If you're interested in XRP, there is a good video with Raoul Pal interviewing XRP worth watching on Real Vision. Just to be clear, I agree with you that XRP is not a good investment, right? But if you want to learn more about it, watch the video. I'm not happy with our friend Raoul and what he's doing over here. I think it's wrong. And I'm just gonna call it how it is. Everyone knows I've been enjoy his conversation, been a big fan, but rubbing me the wrong way with what's going on over there. I'm not very happy about it, and I will become more vocal if necessary. Over here on Ethereum, Bitcoin, over here you got that breakout over here, and now we're getting a retest, and now we're getting a resumption. That is beautiful over here on Ethereum, Bitcoin, in my opinion. But let me check out Ethereum with you really quick. Do you see that trend line that is right here on Ethereum, right? Do you see that on XRP right now as well? Do you see that trend line? This is all alts right now. All alts are consolidating. This was the signal for everyone that alt season is official. Y'all remember alt season is official. And hold on one second, I need to plug this machine in over here. And now we're getting the first, like everyone was loving it as alts were ripping. But now is the opportunity, right? Because alts have pulled back. It's clear as day alt season has begun. If you're interested right now, look, start paying attention. Could we see further pullback? Of course, everyone knows how to manage their risk. If we do break down over here, there is further downside. Although on Ripple, we look pretty solid over here. What about Chainlink? I wanted to take a look at that. Chainlink is showing a kind of a different pattern over here. When I say different pattern, that's horizontal. This is what I see on Chainlink, right? I see this, right? So I don't know, you know, when I say I don't know, I really don't know. I don't know. You know, however, if you're thinking about Chainlink right now is trading at $11.60, and we're just getting started here in alt season. It's just literally beginning. We're going to see massive moves. Do I think that anyone who likes the project right now is a good time to dollar cost average in all day long for sure? Now, if you're a trader, a swing trader, and you look at like right here, I have a setup. That's a setup and an entry happening right over here. You know where you're wrong on the trade, right? Whether or not, by the way, where would you put the stop? Would you put the stop right here below this price bar right now, the one that is making the higher high? Would you put it right below that price bar, or would you put it right below the support, right, or right below that last candle right there? You know, I don't know. What would you do? Beautiful, Zen. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Ethereum's look. Let's just check out Ethereum. All right. Listen, let me check out the pound euro. Good call on that. Do you mean this when we had that breakout of that trend line over there, then the retest, and then off to the races? Why were we not better at getting that? Natural gas, we've been seeing it's been bouncing off that trend line over there. Let's see. There's where we tracked it, right? There's where we started tracking it, right over here. Yeah, that's where we said, look, if you're looking to pick a bottom, that's the place to go for it, you know? But now you're into some resistance, and you're in a downtrend. So careful. Let me go ahead and put that resistance over there, right? This is the point where you would be if you took that trade. This is the point where you'd be moving your stop loss now to break even, taking a little bit of profit off, a little bit, you know, 15, 20%. Oh, what am I doing? 15, 20%, and then letting the rest run over there. There we go. Boris said, yeah, but is he, I mean, the thing about politicians, I don't know. Is he posturing, trying to get a deal? I don't know. It's a toss up. Microsoft. I mean, look, this is the equity markets over here. Brian Pictures. We gave a beautiful rundown of the indexes this morning. I mean, fair to say this week, no one has been all over the indexes better than us. That's what you track the individual stocks off of if you like them, right? Even Apple, remember it said sell Apple over there, take your profits. After we came back into there, Apple is being rejected going back into there. Is Microsoft a lot of the same? I imagine so. Let's take a look at Microsoft over here. And yes, right? Just track the indexes. Just track the indexes to give you the edge. What just happened over there? To give you the edge on individual stocks. And right now, stocks are risky. We are, right? So some people might be starting to sell, like the Nasdaq gave that signal over here yesterday, right? What would happen for us to become bullish again on the indexes? Well, we need to get through this weekend, first of all, as a non-event, right? If all of a sudden there is a deal and like that risk is removed from the market, will we become more bullish on the indexes? Yeah, of course. That's a big deal. That's going to help it out. What's today's date? Tomorrow's the 12th. But, you know, the 14th is fast approaching. Once we have 270 electorals confirmed, will we be a lot more bullish on equities? Yes. To know that we're moving forward as a country with some type of clarity, we will all definitely become very more bullish, and knowing that we're now looking towards either further stimulus or QE, because if the government is not going to provide stimulus, the Fed is going to provide QE. That's all signal. But right now, today, we are not taking risks on the equity markets. We'll let them prove themselves. You have that line over here, that beautiful line of resistance. You need to get back above that and that horizontal 12,430 on the Nasdaq. Once we're back above there, there's going to be a different picture. We'll start looking at the long side, because you all know I am bullish on equities just right now. Someone from Real Vision said it, so it has to be true. I agree, especially if they're wearing a paper hat. Then that guy was on Real Vision, so therefore he knows. Yeah. Justin, big shout out to New York and all New Yorkers. Could you take a right? We just looked at gold, and gold is not interesting at all right now. Now, if you're looking at a longer term horizon, like the next 4 to 6 months, is gold a buy right now? In my opinion, we're going to make a higher high, a new all-time high on gold. But we're looking at it from a trader standpoint right now. Really? That can't be, Gino. There must be something else going on. I hope everything's okay. There's no way that I would deter him from making a video. I hope everything's okay on that end, though. But that's funny. I mean, it's funny just the timing. The game of charades. That's funny. The game of charades. Happy Friday, Jordan. Bitcoin looking great for a little more accumulation as we dip Disney to the moon. Let's talk about Disney, by the way. So, man, let's talk about Disney really quick, right? 2 things that I want to say. First of all, yes, Bitcoin does look like a place to accumulate. I've been trying and shaking for years my little brother by the shoulders to buy Bitcoin. Finally, today, he's buying Bitcoin. It's still a great time to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin under 20,000 is on sale. No question about it. Here we're looking at Disney. Like, Disney subscribers on their streaming service are, what are they, like 63 million or something like that? I don't know. Look, bad investing, right? On my part. First of all, I would never invest in Disney simply because I don't support the company, period. Now, number one, though, during the pandemic, I'm thinking all the parks are closed, right? The pandemic's going to go on for a long time. That's not good for Disney. And I wasn't thinking that about the streaming service move they were making. I really wasn't. So, big mistake on my part. Big mistake on my part. You know? And, you know, what is it? The Mandalorian? Some good series right there. Cryptos will be outlawed at the end of next year. Wow. Colin, where did you learn that? What's the source so that we know? I mean, it seems that governments, there's actually a video I would like to see today or this weekend with I believe it's Raoul Powell on Real Vision talking with Caitlin. What's her name? Caitlin Long, or out of Wyoming. And that's the one. I mean, she's the one who got banking for Bitcoin legal in Wyoming. She's the one who's passing all of the law, helping get all the laws passed favorable for Bitcoin. They're both saying that the opposite is happening, that every single regulator, including the G7, is talking about, regulating Bitcoin. They're not talking about banning it. The exact opposite, Colin. Colin, where are you getting your information from? That seems to be the exact opposite from what everyone else is saying. I would like to know, right? Well, yeah, Nick, I called out Game of Trades because they were stealing my content. I would put out whatever I said in the morning video, they would then copy in the afternoon, including using my same linguistics. Of course I called them out. I'll call anyone out. Right? Including Raoul Powell. I'll call Raoul out. Zero chance of a Brexit no deal. Daniel, if again, inside information, you guys are full of it. I would go all in then on the pound. There's no question about it. If I knew if I knew for sure that there was going to be a zero chance of a no deal, I would definitely go all in on the pound, right? Apple, we looked at Apple was a sell, Bri. We took profit on Apple. Nice. Beautiful. 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 What is the most hated asset right now? What's the most out of favor asset right now is the question. I don't know. Is that natural gas? Probably natural gas is up there, I would think. What else? Is the dollar? I don't think the dollar is. No, I don't think the dollar. I don't know. It's hard to find an asset that's unfavorable right now as the Fed continues to inject massive amount of liquidity into the markets. Because regardless of what you've been told, QE is actually extraordinarily asset inflationary. No other way to look about it. Yeah, I understand. I totally understood what you're, but we look at Euro pound. I just flipped it in my mind. I knew exactly what you were saying. I just flipped it in my mind. How low could the dollar go? Look, John and everyone else, I would pay the most attention to Lynn Alden when it comes to discussing the dollar, the future of the dollar. Because if you look back to the crisis, look back to the March, look back and again, because Lynn will tell you why. I'll tell you what is, but Lynn will tell you why, right? And she's great for that. She has that engineering background. I don't even really care why. I just want to know what is, right? So, but Lynn has been very vocal, laying out the case of why the dollar is looking for further devaluation and why we're looking at inflation. And she's spot on, right? I would listen to some of her podcasts and or YouTube interviews. What do I think about Amazon? Well, what do I think about Amazon? I think Amazon is almost self-handedly. That's good English. I think Amazon's polluting the world. What do you think? Did you ever order any packages on Amazon and it comes full of styrofoam and plastic? What the heck? Why is Amazon not being held accountable to anyone whatsoever? They're absolutely destroying the planet. That's what I think about Amazon, right? What do I think about Amazon? I think if I would have put every penny that I bought on Amazon back in the early 2000s, you're right, the 2000 to 2010, that would have been my best investment of my life. What do I think about the future of Amazon? It's kind of like Bitcoin, where it continues to eat the world, right? That's going to continue. Here you're looking at Amazon, though, over here. And if you break down over here, if the indexes break down, watch out. This will become a very important moment over here, 29.50 on Amazon, right? And if you break down from there, then watch out for a bigger correction, right? Now, at the same time, if you break out over here to the upside, this is a consolidation over here. It could break to the up or downside. Watch out. Either one of those is a good play, but there's no edge right here in the middle. Now, what do I also think about Amazon? What is Amazon down? 20% since September? 13%, excuse me. It's down. I think Amazon's down 13%. And what is Bitcoin since September? Up 80%? I don't know. So that's what I think. What a weird Friday session, right? Thanks for being here with me. I have to say, like, this morning, it's just, again, it is what it is. And then as soon as the first person jumped into the room, I was like, oh man, the fam is here. Boris said that today the no deal is very, very unlikely. Okay. Place your bets. I think a lot of Bitcoiners are buying MicroStrategy from the ones I see and understand. Interesting chart alert. Lincoln's, I don't know what that is. Lincoln's Uranium. I'm not sure. Is this Kips? Do you have a ticker? Kips, please put out a ticker. Otherwise I don't know. I'm not familiar at all with any of that instrument whatsoever. Bitcoin lost almost 20% during September dump, then popped 100%. So far, we still didn't come 20% of the top, and so many FUD mode. I see everyone pretty bullish though, on Bitcoin. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but yeah, you're good. Wirecard's a scam, no? What do you mean? Isn't Wirecard a scam? Public markets, man. Oh, uranium. You were talking to LinkedIn. Hold on one second. Let me pull that up for you. What? I don't know, Kips. I'm all over the place. That deserves a big thumbs down over there. Uh, for real. But look at that support. That's all you could say is look at that support and that pullback into support. WTI, let's see what WTI is doing, right? It's been bid all week. Let's see how it's closing the week over here. So WTI, that looks very orderly. That looks like a bull flag. That looks, let me go up there. However, this was the entry that we all scoped out and looked at. This looks very nice. If I was in the position, I would be holding. You all know I'm looking to target up there around 49.50. But yeah, that looks very orderly. That looks very good. So it seems to me that that's a weird username that will become only companies can own in the rich of the world. You could go ahead and buy Bitcoin right now. No one's stopping you. What do you mean ordinary citizens can't buy Bitcoin? Of course you could buy Bitcoin. But buy Bitcoin now before it's too late. Don't be sitting here a year from now being like, oh, only the rich could have bought it. I missed out on it. You don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. You could buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, right? Keeping it real vision right hit there. What else are we looking at over there? Let me just jump down back to real time. Real Vision needs to subscribe over here. I wish they did. Anyway, listen. 86 million subscribers for Disney. Wow, 89, 86, a lot. That's a lot of subscribers. They have a good service. I imagine that it's going to continue, right? That's a lot. Is it now a good entry for equities? Would you group GBTC? No. Look, if we do have any type of correction on the equity markets, which they're risky right now, maybe we do. Just GBTC, will Bitcoin trade off? The last time the equity market saw a correction was in September, and they traded down 10%. Nasdaq, I believe, more, right? And right over here, this was a correction on the equity markets. Bitcoin during that same time frame was up 20% or up 10%. Why S&P traded off 10%, Bitcoin traded up 10% in that same time frame. So that correlation is broken. And I said back during June, right? Or before June, that wait until the first quarter of 2021. The correlation between Bitcoin and everything else is really going to be breaking. And all you need to do to see that is this. Like, we're coming up into this area over here where you start seeing these gaps in price between months. This is where we're going to start seeing the correlation really break. And by the way, it's going to break to the downside as well. It's going to break to the downside as well. Silvergate Capital, the Bitcoin Bank of California. So Silvergate Capital. Why do I feel like, is that Silvergate Capital, is that the bank that BlockFi uses? Oh, Corte du Banque, Raphael, cool name, brother. Look, I'm not going off of Plan B's analysis or the stock to flow. I don't understand the stock to flow model. I care what is. I don't care why. I personally have not taken the time to understand the stock to flow model and understand how it's calculated or anything. I could care less about it. I don't go off of Plan B's analysis whatsoever. I go off of, I do go off of, in Plan B 100%. His modeling has taught me. You see this green dot, dark green dot right here? That's 15 months to the next halving. That's the time I will begin accumulating in the bear market. I'm confident about that. I 100% got that from Plan B. The dots over here visually, everyone should have this imprinted on their mind. I'm not looking at the stock to flow model in the future right over here. I'm looking at the past flow of Bitcoin. That's what I'm looking at. And these dots over here, by the way, all they do is signify how much more time to the next halving, right? This is at the first, 40 months to the next halving. 40 months, where did I come up with that number? 48 months to the next halving, right? And this is 15 months over there. That's what I'm looking at. If you want to see my analysis on Bitcoin and how I got to my projections, which have been dead on, go ahead and watch my Bitcoin video. Watch all of them on the playlist. I go over it and cover it. But it has nothing to do with Plan B and his analysis. Again, I don't even understand the stock to flow. That's all. I don't. I don't need to. I have no need to. It's not how my mind works or anything like that. Yes. Okay, it is Silvergate. I know it sounded familiar. That's interesting. All right. So what else are we looking at over here? BlockFi Bank, indeed. I got 6 kids. I need Bitcoin break to the upside. Gino, right there with you, brother. Beautiful. Ethereum is holding that trend line support over here this morning, right? Everyone can see that over there, right? So, man, I wish I could pass the mic over to Heath right now. So, what else? URA. Thank you, Heath. I did have it right. I can't look at that chart though. Let me come to the 3-day. So this is very difficult. Can I go to the weekly chart? Maybe that will be a little bit easier to read, right? And then over there, that's the support. Is that the alert you called out right there after that pullback? That is something for everyone to pay attention to. I saw something about uranium in the news this week. I can't remember what it was. There was something about uranium in the news. I'm not sure what that was from a chart standpoint alone, right? I can't speak for Kips. And Kips is comments himself in the comments over here. So, but what I see is right where that mouse is, right? That strong support, and you see price starting to resume off there. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful alert that right there for sure. So, listen, why I'm certain the UK won't Brexit no deal, I don't know that it'll definitely mean it goes up. So, I don't understand how you could be certain about anything in the markets. That's all. You can't be certain. That's for sure, right? That would just help you not to be certain. Like to stick with oil. Were you certain that oil would never go to zero, right? Because it traded negative, you know. So what else are we looking at? So anyway, I saw a weird comment. I just wanted to just comment on it. Check out pathways to synthetic just first of all, be very careful when it comes to stuff like that, right? You could just be very careful. I would never invest in something like that, especially synthetic, right? Go natural. But number two, that could definitely damage someone's psyche forever. Be very, 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 very careful. That's all. Will Bitcoin go down or we don't know, but we looked at Max. We have no idea which way Bitcoin's going to go. I think this is what everyone should be focused at right now. This is the chart to focus in on right now, right? Are you a buyer or a seller? Are you a buyer or a seller? Are you a buyer or a seller, right? The trick is, and I said that in the 3 ways to trade Bitcoin, the trick is, and I think that most people that try to trade it are not going to do as well as people who hold it and or add on pullbacks. If you can't add to a pullback here, is this a pullback? We've seen a 15% pullback over the last couple of weeks, right? Is that the pullback to add to? It could be. If you're looking, by the way, though, if you are looking for another good safe entry, that's going to be breaking right above here, somewhere around 19,230 in that area, right? In this area over here, that would set up a much safer trade, in my opinion. So that I can't answer that question. Flip Signals has a fantastic, amazing question. At what point would my conviction change on Bitcoin? So let me do my best to answer that for myself right now and for you. It's an amazing question. It's an important question. Obviously, one that I've asked myself many times before. The reason that it's very difficult to answer is because of my understanding of the monetary system, of my understanding of money, and my understanding of Bitcoin itself. So it's almost impossible if you understand those things to talk yourself out of what could happen that would make you think different. Like if all of a sudden the US government backed the dollar to gold and then decided that they were going to cut all of their bloated spending and get the balance back, would I be less bullish on Bitcoin at that point? Well, yeah, but at that point, Bitcoin is also what? It's a digital currency. Look at the internet, look at the future. We have all these different, let's just say robots communicating with each other. They can't, well, digital dollar maybe. Listen, I held Bitcoin through the dollar crisis down to 3,800. I can't imagine. And not only that, I got to add at 4,100 and 4,800 and 5,200. Do you think I'm selling Bitcoin? I don't think so. If there was some type of software bug, do you think it would be fatal for the protocol? Or do you think that the devs would be able to fix it? Right? I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't know what would make me exit my Bitcoin position. And that's real. I just don't know. Nice. Trade like a trampoline. That's a new one. Kips is in a good mood today. Wow, that's beautiful, Tom. Tom, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that for me. Apple, we were like for like the rare time ever. Apple was like the rare time ever over here. We were like, this is a buy signal as the Nasdaq was breaking out to the upside, right? This is like the once in the whole year. And then after we broke out to the upside, and then when we gapped down below the trend line, it was like time to exit the trade. So unless we get back above here on Apple in the near term, that would open up a new buy trade on Apple. And right now, it's just neutral. That's Apple. So, yeah, this is actually the biggest thing that I don't understand. And I would like to understand more. The question is, do I think digital currencies will have any effect on Bitcoin? And this is what I think is the biggest risk to Bitcoin. And the reason I think that is because with right now, I don't know. This is the one thing that I don't understand well enough, right? If digital central bank digital currencies exist alongside Bitcoin, Ethereum, and every other altcoin, then they don't pose a threat whatsoever. If the governments of the world, China tried to ban Bitcoin, they know they can't. Russia tried to ban Bitcoin, they know they can't. The United States hasn't tried to ban Bitcoin because they already know they can't. They've been vocal about that. If you listen to any Senate hearings, they understand you can't ban Bitcoin, but you can make it really difficult. You can make it really difficult. It could become illegal with substantial fines. There could be jail time. There could be, was anyone ever put in jail when gold was made illegal for not giving up their gold? Because a lot of people didn't give up their gold. I don't know. The tricky thing is that there are other jurisdictions in the world that will not adhere to this. They will welcome Bitcoin. You will see that the people flock over there. And the other thing that is going on over here is that Bitcoin is not going to be made illegal anytime soon, right? The one big thing to worry about, the one big wild card, will self-custody be made illegal, right? Because I mean that's a threat. That's a possibility. But the Bitcoin over the next year is going to take a substantial chunk out of the global financial system, right? And it's going to become a $1 trillion asset, right? A multi-trillion dollar asset. At that point, you're going to have we're seeing Mass Mutual. We have public companies now invested in Bitcoin. What could they do? At a certain point, adoption has taken foot that, I don't know. But it's something to think about. That's one thing to worry about. How Bitcoin can fall is China peg their currency and pro-China countries follow suit. China's got a big Bitcoin position, bigger than the US. Self-hosting. What altcoin am I most bullish on? Ethereum. I'm most bullish on Ethereum, right? Because it's the safest bet, right? Is Ethereum going to have the highest return during not even close, right? But is Ethereum the safest bet next to Bitcoin? I think so, right? Could you compare, Bitcoin versus Ethereum? Absolutely not. First of all, they're two different things. But number one, Bitcoin is proven technology, and Ethereum is speculative technology that, if they find a way to make it work, is going to be enormous, right? But it's just speculative. But Ethereum would be the altcoin that I'm most bullish on, simply because it has the most network effects in its favor. And it's just a safer bet. And Ethereum has demolished the return of Bitcoin this year, right? Ethereum has definitely demolished Bitcoin. Do I know anything about Bitcoin becoming programmable to manage contracts? I don't. I mean, the whole thing is there will be a lot that continues to be built on top of Bitcoin, but at the core layer itself, that's not at all what the devs want out of Bitcoin. You want it to be secure. The more moving parts, the less secure software becomes. That's not why Bitcoin is Bitcoin. I don't think that's going to happen. But JC, I'm sure that there is a wealth of information about there from people who know, right? Well, what do I know? I'm just really good at predicting, I guess, trends, right? I'm able to foresee in the future trends that are taking place, usually before the people, and get a hold of them. I have a knack at looking at charts and being able to really manage my risk well. But there are people who know a lot more than me about that. Grateful morning, brother. Good to see you over there. BEBC. BEBC. BEPC. I'm not getting anything on that. Oh, because I'm on futures. Sorry about that. So, wow, look, that's going straight up. Boom. Blockfield Renewable Energy Corp. Oh, Biden Renewable Energy Program, shooting the moon. Look at that bit of support over there. This is something my eyes are drawn to. This trend line right over there. Now that you got two touches, resuming off of it. This looks like a buy here. And why would I say that when I'm so bearish on equities? Not bearish, cautionary on equities. And that's because you could definitely manage your risk over here. get out of this trade if you're wrong. If you break down below that trend line over there, we could see a much bigger correction, maybe even really big, right? So that's a good opportunity right there, simply because it's all about managing your risk. There's their Bitcoin ETF. We have not an ETF, but you have Grayscale, GBTC, as a play on Bitcoin. It's the largest holder in the world of Bitcoin. You also have public companies like MicroStrategy, which are a quasi play on Bitcoin. You have in Canada GBTC. So you have different types of plays on Bitcoin. Never heard my opinion on Cramer. Well, so my opinion on Cramer is just is two things. His work ethic is absolutely impeccable, right? That's amazing. Number two, I have the utmost respect for someone that was able to have the case of Bitcoin presented to him. This was done by Anthony Pompilano on a podcast. Now, Cramer did understand gold, so he had that going for him. If you understand gold, it's very easy to understand the value proposition of Bitcoin. But he was not a fan of Bitcoin whatsoever. And after listening, being educated, and understanding it, he got it completely. And look, I don't really care what anyone's opinion is. When I mean that, like, if you think the sky is red, I don't think you're a bad person or want to not talk to you or not want to hear you say the sky is red. Because there are people out there, I feel like the sky is red, they have to close their ears and they can't hear what you have to say. But I want to know, like, well, hey, why do you think the sky's red? And then, like, either I'll be like, I don't agree with you, or, oh, wow, I see what you're saying, right? And I respect Cramer for that. How could you not? Now, he's definitely too loud and too, whatever for me, but I respect him a lot. So yeah, this is a good love the avatar over there up in the mountains. But digital currencies are not a risk for Bitcoin. On the contrary, mass is getting familiar with wallets. I mean, yes, but what happens if Bitcoin is getting in the way of central bank digital currencies being able to control monetary policy? Then what happens? That's the risk for me. But that's true right now. Like, as everyone is giving a digital wallet by the Federal Reserve, right? Does that increase people's awareness of digital currencies and including Bitcoin? 100%. I see what you're saying and I agree with it from that aspect. My concern in playing it all out is what happens if they're not able to control and engineer, because they're looking to now engineer things. I mean, you're looking at communism. That's all it is. It's just communism. That's the future they're trying to create for us. I hope it's not the case, but yeah, good comment. Thank you for that. I don't consult either one of those things. I don't ever look at the MACD. I don't look at RSI, and I don't look at the CCI. I look at price, right? So I don't look at those things. I don't even know successful traders who look at those things. Wes, that is I'm not familiar with it, but that is Mike Maloney right there, right? He explains that well. No. So Ben, this is another great question. All of a sudden, we're finding a Friday flow over here. So does Bitcoin fall under the category of when most everyone is expecting the same thing doesn't happen? So there are very few expecting the same thing out there. Like, I guess now in 2020, in December of 2020, people finally don't think Bitcoin is a pyramid scheme. Right? That's changed. But the majority of people out there, like, if you just take a random group in Times Square and find out how many of those people own Bitcoin, and then if you look at those people and ask them like what their price predictions are, it'll be all over the place, right? There are some people right now who, like, 40,000, they're selling in the bull market. They're getting out. They don't think Bitcoin goes any higher. I don't think that, I think we live right together in a tight community, in a bubble where everyone is on the same page, but that bubble is very, very small in the greater scheme of the world. So I don't think that everyone is expecting the same thing or even close to it personally. Yeah, there's a huge news over there. We had Mass Mutual making $100 million Bitcoin purchase. I thought they had 240 million dollars in reserves. So they put almost 50% of their reserves into Bitcoin. I don't think anyone's talking about that. I think so. And the more politicians, right? The more, as Wall Street gets involved, and Wall Street is now getting involved, we have lobbyists on our side. We're seeing laws passed. I don't think it's a question of whether, that's not a threat to me in Jordan's whole, the way that I've played it out. Bitcoin becoming illegal is not a threat. Yeah, so Robin is asking something that is very important over here. If we have a liquidity crisis is a near-term threat to the price of Bitcoin, right? There's no question about that. Another liquidity crisis would be a near-term threat to the price of Bitcoin. But what would happen if we had a liquidity crisis is that we all know that there's only until the central bank digital tokens are ready, because the way that the way that they're going to make the change, I think, I could be wrong. China's introducing the digital yuan, and they're doing like a seamless transition, right? They've gone to, please forgive me, my ignorance. The name of the city that's like the Silicon Valley of China, right? They're basically giving out a bunch of digital yuan to like having a lottery, just to like start that adoption, right? And that's happening like almost organically with the help of the government. The way that I think central bank digital tokens will be introduced to the world will be through a crisis. And like the solution to the crisis is going to be, well, the only way we could save the system is if we use central bank digital tokens. And that's what will happen. I don't think we have another crisis for a while, but if we do, this was a 60% drawdown. I think that if we have another one, it would be a lot less. Whether or not that's 50%, I can't say. But definitely you could have, if we had a crisis, right? If we had a liquidity crisis today, I have a feeling we would not trade lower than right here, $10,000 on Bitcoin, if we did. But it would be quick. Robin, what I meant to say is that the powers that be would be quick to act, and then Bitcoin would bounce up just as quick. Graham, have a beautiful weekend. Thanks for spending this time together. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that comment very much. Forex pairs. Shane, let's take a look. Starting with the Euro US dollar. Let's do it. Let me drop down to the 8 hour. First, let's start over here. Let's see what's going on over there. All right. So, I kind of feel like we're in no man's land over here, right? I see after a beautiful, healthy breakout, I see price now consolidating. And that's where we are on this Friday. So, Shane, I don't want to go any further into it because it's Friday, right? Everything looks great. And by the way, as long as we remain above that trend line, everything looks entirely ultra bullish, right? If you break this trend line, what is that trend line? It's this trend line right over here. And that would be, right, expecting the next move up into this line over here of 92.50. So 92.50, right over there. Boom, right to that move to that resistance, right? That resistance right over there. Now, that's a big deal if we break above that area. At that point, it looks like we have a big counter trend move developing on the dollar. None of that's happening right now. What's happening right now is that we're seeing that line hold. We're very bearish on the dollar, bullish on the euro, but right now we're just consolidating over here today. It's Friday, and I expect gaps over the weekend, so careful. Now, what else did you want to see? The pound US dollar, Pound US dollar is completely out of play, and that's because of the huge risk event over the weekend. But you could see, and we had that beautiful ascending wedge, right? We had this multi-year trend line and that big horizontal resistance. We broke down, retest, resumption, and now into support. And then we have pound Japanese yen. So this is interesting for me in the fact if we got an unorderly hard exit and the pound depreciated, I think that the pound Japanese yen would be the one I would go looking for to take a position trade on, right? That would be lovely somewhere. Well, I'm not even going to play. I want to see what happens over the weekend. We'll come back to that on Monday. And then pound Australian dollar. Never got, this is one of the, let's look at this really quick. Let me clean this up 1 second and then we could take a look at it. This looks like one of the occasions where you get a breakdown without coming back in for a retest. Let's take a look at it. You can see, like, there's the breakdown of that blue box we had, by the way, and then we crushed down out of it. We've never coming back. We've never even had a retest, And so, the only thing I could say is that when price has gotten away from you, price has gotten away from you. You can't chase after that right now. So there it is. That's one of the rare occurrences when price gets away from you. But it's Friday, Shane, which is why I'm kind of staying away from FX right now. Not only that, I expect a lot of volatility on the Asian Open over there. Big shout out to Brooklyn. Is XRP the third safest or Litecoin? Who could answer that? You guys answer that. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? What is the third safest altcoin out there? For me, it would be a basket of the top 70. That's what it would be for me. The top 70 altcoins is the only way I would play that. I don't know what anyone thinks is the third safest. If anyone has an opinion on that, please let me know. Oliver's asking, does Jordan's channel hit 100K subscribers before Bitcoin? I think right? So like, let's say Bitcoin hits $100,000 in August, right? Are we going to be there by August? I don't, it's possible. I don't think so, but it's possible. This is the comment of the day. I do need to highlight it. All I can say is that Raul's been rubbing me the wrong way. And that's all I could say. Let's take a long-term look at Chainlink, right? That's what I was wondering, by the way. When you're asking what's the third safest crypto, and I don't know enough to say, but I was wondering if it's Chainlink. I don't know. Is it Monero? Maybe. Maybe it's Monero. I don't know. I would take a basket of currencies. Jordan's my crystal ball. Is there a basket of alts out there? I don't know of one. I'm sure there is. I don't know of one, but I'm sure there is. You could also make your own basket, right? For sure, you could make your own basket. Mr. X Walker, I don't have an opinion. I'm so confused about the housing market also, right? It needs to be seen what type of mortgage and rent relief comes out. Hopefully before the end of the year, as people are suffering. This is not a joke. Politicians playing big games, right? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I do know that QE is causing this massive bubble in the housing market. I don't think it's going to end well, but that doesn't mean don't ever try to time a pop of a bubble. You could be, I remember in 2007, Was it 2005 when I first started? I'm sorry, it's a long time ago. It was in New York. I was in 2003, and I could see that there was a problem with the housing market. It wasn't until 2005 there was a big problem, right? And you could be on the wrong side of a trade for a long time. 2 years is a long time. That's like being bullish on the dollar, since May of 2020. You might be right, but you're on the wrong side of the trade. Don't ever try to get on the other side of a bubble. How many? I think we had 3,000 last month, Samuel. I think 3,000 is probably about average, right? So figure another year. Well, we had 60,000, I think, in 1 year, or close to that, or something like that. 57,000 in 1 year. So I think Bitcoin does it first. You guys are the best. I just snorted coffee. Some of these comments are fantastic here on this Friday morning over there. What else are we looking at? You shouldn't go to altcoins if you're looking for safety. I agree. I'm only focused on Bitcoin. Maybe. I mean, I'm not known at all in the Bitcoin space. Zero, right? Zero. So I don't know. But it doesn't matter. I love you guys, right? I am so happy with our community. Like, do you realize the value of our community? This place is absolutely astonishing, right? In my opinion. And I'm so happy with where I'm not looking for growth in that aspect at all. And not even a little. That's not, if I was, I would be, going ahead and paying for like pre-roll YouTube ads for other people who are on YouTube interested in trading and investing. As soon as they spend some time here, they would probably sub. But I'm not looking for growth. I'm just looking for quality. Yes and no. You can. Banks are doing that right now. Like, is Ryan? Yes, it's a great question. I'm going to have trouble with the pronunciation, but can you hypothecate Bitcoin like gold? This means that you're lending out Bitcoin that you don't have. Is it possible? For sure, there are companies doing it right now. There are businesses doing it right now. Now, the one thing about Bitcoin, this is the one last leg that Trace Mayer has to stand on, right? Bitcoin's funny. People think that they're important, and then Bitcoin crushes them like a bug. Raul Pal, for real, Trace Mayer was one of the OGs of OGs in Bitcoin, and then he tried to sell an altcoin, and the Bitcoiners removed him from history. Are you kidding? Roger Ver, one of the biggest promoters of Bitcoin ever, most important people, influential people in Bitcoin, boom, gone, right? But Trace Mayer started, I forgot what it's called, but I forgot the date, but it's very close to the beginning of January, wherever Bitcoin you have on an exchange, you take it back and store it yourself, just to prove that those exchanges have that Bitcoin to prevent rehypothecation. And that's awesome. That's a big deal. That's something you can do with Bitcoin that you can't do with gold, but it is a problem. No question about that. What is PayPal doing? We have no idea. Yeah, I would look forward to definitely having some beautiful and excuse me, conversations over here on this channel. For sure. Or if I got a whiteboard, right? If I did some whiteboards, my wife asked that I would show myself every morning. But here's the thing. I want to share what's going on in my head. I don't want to have to like brush my hair before I get on here with y'all, right? So what else we got? XML Stellar. Wow, Zen agrees with that. Let's take a look at that giant symmetrical triangle. Zoom out. That's what I should be doing on Chainlink. Zoom out. But are we breaking down over there? So by the way, yes, right? Because we could see that big symmetrical triangle. It does look like we're breaking down. But I also understand that the tide is with all season. But that's the trade over here, right? Above 1345, breaking out above that top side resistance. That's the safe trade when momentum will be in your favor. You don't want to take a trade where you have possible further downside. We could trade down towards 10,800, right? Or 9,800. That's all possible. That I wouldn't be surprised at all. If Bitcoin does have a pullback to 13,800, there's a good chance that Chainlink's trading under $10, right? So just by showing a little bit of patience and waiting for this to break out to the upside, I think it's a much better entry and going to save you a lot of mental anguish, right? Is this the bottom today? Maybe. Could be. I don't know, but we're not trying to pick bottoms. Cardano. Litecoin number 3. See, I don't know. I've never been a fan of Litecoin, but it is a decentralized currency, you know? I guess Dogecoin too. Sarika. Yeah, Justin, I put out a video. I put out a video as this product was launched. I use Bitwise all the time to show you guys the altcoins, how the top 70 perform versus the top 10 versus the top 20 versus Bitcoin. But I did put out a video on BitW as it was launched, right? And if you all want to take a look at it, I mean, there's really nothing to look at. Well, I thought it was $17 when we looked at it. I don't know when it was launching. But you look, if you're investing in the public markets, if you're invested in QBTC, GBTC, BitW, these are not for trading, in my opinion. These are for holding, and that's all, right? Link is only as safe as Ethereum, right? I listen, Daniel. I'm not exactly sure about that. I'm not exactly sure about that. That there are people who could have that discussion. I'm not sure. How did I make the chart price ticker blue? Oh, you just go into settings. Just go into settings and then scale. And then scales. Nope. Appearance. I don't know. I have no idea. That's true, right? Keep that easy money flowing. It's harder and harder though to get mortgages. Right now, lenders are requiring 20%, the most in a long time. But Polkadot is super risky, no? Ted, I mean, Polkadot has enormous potential to the upside in price as a speculative instrument, but wouldn't Polkadot be one of the most risky? I don't know, though. Politicians playing politics. I think we need to change their name from politicians, right? I think it would be helpful. Like memes are super important, right? Memes are super important, right? What do you think one of the first memes was? Remember when they thought the earth was flat and then they found out it was round? The earth is round. Was that one of the first memes? But we should call them overlords because they think they're overlords, don't they? I think we should refer to them as our overlords from now on. And then people will stop putting them on pedestals and worshiping them. I hope. Will we be timing the pop of Bitcoin? Yeah, 100%, Samuel. 100%. I'm going to do my best to exit at the top. I don't know what that top will be. I mean, look, would anyone be surprised if Bitcoin traded at $280,000? I would not be surprised at all, right? Now, you all know what my target is, the math I've done, what I'm expecting, but I also expecting goals that I believe will be achieved. Speculation is speculation. I'll be trying to get out as close as I can to the top. Beautiful, Kenneth. Yeah, they're going to start paying us for with negative interest rates for taking out mortgages. The housing market is absolutely insane, but so is the expansion of the Fed's balance sheet and the global global liquidity of the central banks. That's what's insane. So is it really housing prices that are insane? Not really, right? There's no inflation. QE is deflationary. Man. So anyway. Powell said he's raising rates in 2023, and so look, it's impossible for them to raise rates. The market could force the rates higher, but the system breaks. You can't do it. So, I bet there's a positive correlation between big Nasdaq and Dow. That's true. Whenever the markets are down big, then like there's a lot more viewers on videos. That's entirely true, because there is probably a whole huge portion of the population that is really has a much longer time preference on investments than most of us do. I agree. Kip's Mike Night. Yeah, I mean, the reason I don't do it is because it's not the best market to focus my attention on, right? Listen, and the amount of people who have done it and say it, like, if you're interested in learning how to trade individual stocks, take the course. Really work with me and take my course, because I teach you how market structure works, how to be successful with a strategy in trading the markets, and it works on stocks. But I don't really want to spend my time on stocks because I think it's a very poor market. A siesta's in my future? I don't think so. The wife is pregnant. Got to help with these kids. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Craig. Yep, we've been all over that. Quality over quantity. Let me jump down to real time, see what you all are talking about. You think so? Don't you think PayPal would have gotten to Bitcoin a lot earlier then? Oh, how will we determine the top of Bitcoin? Look, we're a long way off, so we don't need to talk about it, but it's a Friday. There's a couple of things that I'm going to be looking at. The first is time-based, because Bitcoin is math. Bitcoin is coded. It's code and therefore math. So I'm going to be looking time-based. What do I mean by that? Look over here. This green dot over here is exactly 15 months to the halving. That is the cycle low. There's the math playing out over there, right? Now, if you take the first cycle from, in the first two cycles, you take the low point of the cycle up into the next halving event, and you less that by the number of days by 2%. That has led to the peak of the bull market. In this case, that would be September the 21st. That's a date I'll be paying attention to, but I'll be paying attention to price at that time. That's something that I'm going to be looking for, right? Now, what else? We have the pie indicator that we added. I don't care whether you like it or not. Do you think I even care? Or if you don't think I'm right? But by the way, you should pay attention to those who have a history of being right. Right? Talk about the housing crash was one. There were people who foresaw that happening, right? After a crash, people went back and listened to the same people who had no idea what was going to happen. Or Janet Yellen. She's a great example. Janet Yellen. There will be no crisis again in our lifetimes. 2020 crisis. Oh, let's make her the Treasury Secretary, because she has a great history of being correct. But anyway, you should pay attention to people who do have a history of being correct. I have the pie indicator over here. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you. This is the pie cycle top indicator from lookintobitcoin.com. In the past two previous cycles, this has given the exact perfect exit for the top. Over here, as the yellow crosses the green right over there, that was the exact top. And then if you go back to the previous cycle, that also showed you when you had the exact top of Bitcoin. There's right over here. Here's where they cross. That was the top. So I don't know how I could not pay attention to that. I will, of course, be paying attention to both time, to that indicator. And then also we have the weekly RSI will be a really good indicator of the top as well. So there are things that I already know that I'm going to be watching and paying attention to. and I'll just do my best, but yeah, I'm not going to exit like at a certain price. I'm going to watch price. I'm going to watch price action. So I don't have any, again, if you're interested in altcoins, I think that your best bet is having a basket of altcoins. You should look at altcoins as an instrument together as one, and that's the way to do it. If you have my focus is on Bitcoin. If you had a small focus on Ethereum, I think Ethereum also has a lot of network effects in its favor. That would be something to check out. Here's Bitwise. Here we go. This is what I want to show you. I guess they changed it now. I'm not going to even try to pull it up. I wanted to show you the chart I'm always showing you guys of all the different altcoins, but we're not going to do that now. There's a video right now on the channel that talks about when to exit altcoins during the bull market. Elon and Theo probably tried to turn PayPal into Bitcoin, but they were not allowed because they had invented. I don't know about that. That could be. This sounds like a good theory. I wouldn't call it a conspiracy theory because I think that they went on it, but yeah, that could be. All right, everyone. Thanks for spending this time with me today. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. I know Heath is going to be putting out a video over the weekend. Look out for that one. If you're not getting the updates, go ahead, join right here in the description below the Telegram broadcast channel when any videos are sent out over there. You too. You have a beautiful weekend. So thanks for spending this time with me. I really enjoyed it. No, I don't have moving averages to take profits. I don't use moving averages. You could use like a 7 and 9 though. A 7 and 9 together will give you a good exit. Yeah, so thank you, everyone. Thank you for making what a nice morning. Definitely enjoyed it. You guys are all absolutely wonderful. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.